Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to see more. Coming up in today's episode, the NRL results and scorers from Saturday's games, and also Super League highlights from my mouth. Now let's get to the results that were from the NRL, as the NRL decided to keep their regular season games as far away as possible from State of Origin and compact them all into 3 days rather than the usual Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday format. It's just to keep the regular season juices away from State of Origin. Anyway, it all started on yesterday, as we covered that game on Friday, with Saturday's first game being between the Gold Coast Titans and the South Sydney Rabbitohs. The Rabbitohs are facing a Titans team whose season is not going that well and is going in a wrong direction, and life doesn't get easier with the dangerous Rabbitohs outfit coming to Cbus Stadium for that first game of the day. Gold Coast have lost 7 of their past 8 games to slump to 15th in the ladder, with only the Bulldogs below them, while the South sits 8th with a 6 wins and 6 defeat record, and have star fullback Latrell Mitchell nearing a comeback. The Rabbitohs are fully hitting the straps, but are capable of blowing teams off the park on the day, as they showed in an 8-try romp against the West Tigers ahead of the bye. Meanwhile, the leaky Titans defence have been giving up 156 points in the last 5 games, and it's hard to see them putting the clamps on Cody Walker, Campbell Graham and Alex Johnson if they jump on the back of their solid foundations laid up front. Anyway, let's get to the teams. So for the home team, the Titans welcome back A.G. Brimson. Well, they don't, as he's a late withdrawal on Friday night, so Jermaine Izako moves to fullback and Essen Masters comes in on the wing. Skipper Tino Fasamalawe will back up from Origin 1, but drops back to the bench on game day with Moeke Otuaka to start at lock. Jaden Campbell is set for a lengthy stint on the sidelines with a hamstring injury, while winger Corey Thompson is also out with a knee injury. He's replaced by Greg Mayhew. The Rabbitohs are 1-70 with no late changes. Cameron Murray and Damien Cook both back up after their Origin performances on Wednesday night, with Cook set to share minutes with young hooker Peter Mamazoulis, who was named on the bench. Tavita Tatola is also set to return from a head knock, with Mark Nichols moving to the bench. On the day of Tom Burgess's 200th game as a player for the Rabbitohs won 30 points to 16. It was Alex Johnson who got the scoring off and running, with Cody Nikorima kicking the extras, while Greg Mayhew scored on the 14th minute, just to be responded by Jackson Paolo. Just after half-time, Alex Johnson got a double after the 42nd minute, but Tino Fasamalawe scored for his first try of the game on the 48th minute. Up to now, only Jermaine Izako had missed a conversion due to a 12-4 scoreline for the Titans. Well, not as I mean by the missing of the kick rather than the actual point scoring. Tame Milne scored for the Rabbitohs, which was also kicked by Nikorima on the 59th minute, while Big Tino scored on the 76th minute. This after Alex Johnston completed his hat-trick and a 30 points to 16 victory for the Rabbitohs. The next game on Saturday was the Roosters versus the Storm, as the Roosters rollercoaster season continued in Canberra last Sunday as they fell to their 4th loss in the past 7 games, while the Storm have put their feet up and enjoyed the bye week last weekend. Joey Manu was magnificent for the Roosters at fullback, but in the absence of James Tedesco, Daniel Tupou and Lindsay Collins in the Origin camp certainly contributed to the 6-point defeat at GIO Stadium. The Storm have their own Origin duo of Cameron Munster and Felice Kafusi, hoping to be back from Wednesday's showdown, with Xavier Coates ruled out after picking up an injury in Origin 1. In last year's 2 meetings, the Storm racked up 66 points to the Roosters 4, winning 46-0 in Newcastle and 20 points to 4 in Melbourne. Now on to the team news. Well, we see James Tedesco, who didn't back up from Origin 1 last year, but will play this time around in a boost for the Tricolours. Daniel Tupou and Lindsay Collins will also play after their Origin efforts on Wednesday night. The only late change to the side is the omission of Egan Butcher, whose place on the bench is taken by Daniel Saluka Fafita. For the Storm, Xavier Coates is out after suffering a syndesmosis injury on Wednesday night's State of Origin, but Maroons teammate Cameron Munster, Felice Kafusi and Harry Grant will all play. Grant has been moved to the bench on game day with Brandon Smith to start. Nelson Asafa Solomona also goes to the bench in his return from a knee injury, with Tui Kami Kamacha promoted to the starting side. The backline reshuffle sees Marion Seve moved to the wing in place of Coates, with Grant Anderson named to play in the centres. Alec McDonald is also back after an illness. But it was all for naught as the Roosters suffered defeat yet again to the Storm, 26 points to 18. The Sydney Cricket Ground has not been the best of homes for Roosters this year, and it shows once again. Joseph Suwali did give them the lead on the 5th minute, which was cancelled out by Grant Anderson. Walker and Nick Meaney both converted the tries before Sam Walker went over on the 18th minute, and he converted his own try for a 12 points to 6 lead, which was made 12 points to 10 after Marion Seve scored a try on the 30th minute. Half-time score was 12-10, but it was Marion Seve who got his second on the scoreboard after the 43rd minute. Sitili Tupanoa scored on the 47th minute, which Paul Momirovski took over kicking duty for, before Grant Anderson and Felice Kafusi, who had their conversions completed by Nick Meaney, for the Storm to come out 26 points to 18 victors. And in Saturday's final game, we see the Broncos, who have already chalked up 8 wins this season, one more than they achieved in the all of the 2021 campaign, and 5 more than their disastrous 2022 Wooden Spoon campaign, go up against the Canberra Raiders. Adam Reynolds is back to lead the way. The Broncos have been a revelation and riding high on the classic composure of their new number 7 and the brilliance of Katoni Staggs and Selwyn Cobbo. The Raiders have started to find their groove in the past month and are capable of matching it with anyone when Josh Papali'i, Joseph Tarpany, Ryan Sutton and Adam Elliott lay a platform for the halfbacks to work off. Tarpany has been a colossus in Papali'i's absence against the Roosters, and he'll have a huge role to play on Saturday if the Green Machine are to roll into the top 8 by making a statement against their serious final contenders. So who have the coaches named in their squad? Well, for the Broncos first of all, Payne Haas and Patrick Corrigan are both confirmed to play against the Raiders. However, Selwyn Cobbo has been rested and Katoni Staggs has not recovered in time from the shoulder injury sustained on Wednesday night's bruising Origin opener. Former Dragons winger Jordan Pereira comes in for Cobbo, while Staggs has been replaced in the starting lineup by Brenko Lee. Adam Reynolds is confirmed starting, having missed the past few weeks. For the Raiders, Jordan Rapana's 1-game ban for dangerous contact sees James Schiller join the starting side on the wing. Origin representatives Jack Whiten and Josh Papali'i have been named to play. However, Papali'i will start from the bench with Corey Horsburgh taking his place in front row. Corey Hawara-Nara also returns to the bench after following COVID protocols. This game was a weird game, despite the Broncos winning 24 points to 18. The try scoring started on the 8th minute with Ezra Mam scoring for the the Broncos. Sorry about that. Adam Reynolds converted when after Jordan Rapana had responded to Nick Kotrick's try on the 16th minute, which Fogarty converted. Corey Horsburgh then scored on the 26th minute, which was followed up by Herbie Farnworth for the Broncos, scoring on the 33rd. Adam Elliott scored for the Raiders on the 37th minute, which Fogarty converted all 3 of the tries, while Reynolds missed 1 of the 3 to make a halftime scoreline of 16 points to 8. But the second half was littered with mistakes and a grind, as it was the Broncos that scored 8 points, which was the entire point scoring for the second half, with Herbie Farnworth getting his second try and Adam Reynolds converted, and then a penalty on the 54th minute, after all the scoring stopped on the 42nd minute. But the Broncos win 24 points to 18. After the game, Kevin Walters said that the Broncos suffered many injuries, as Payne Haas an AC joint injury, Adam Reynolds has got a rib injury, and Corey Oates has got a hand injury. But other major concerns for the Broncos and also England potentially is that the news that Herbie Farnworth has suffered a potentially season-ending bicep injury in the results against the Raiders. So we'll have to see what comes of that in the next few weeks. Now we turn our attention to the games that were played on Saturday for the Super League. And to be honest, there was only one game, but it's still seen second in Super League play, the 5th, as Catalan Dragons hosted Hull FC at the Stade Gilbert Brutus. Sky showed the game in the UK, while beIN Sports 2 showed the game in France. Everyone expected Catalans to beat Huddersfield last weekend and continue to quietly keep the pressure on St. Helens at the top. However, despite an extra week's rest, the fact was they were up against the Dragons side hurting from her cup final heartache, and the Dragons were caught cold, something rotten that they couldn't afford to happen here if they were to remain in second spot and chasing the champions against Hull. Likewise, Hull FC was shocked at Wakefield last week, removing the safety nets they have between them and the chasing pack where the playoffs are concerned. They need a win as much as Dragons, if not more. But we'll go on to the team news. So we'll start off with Hull. Hull have made 3 changes to their squad this week, with Josh Bowden, Jake Connor and Scott Taylor all absent. Taylor is serving a match ban, whilst Jake Connor is the biggest blow to the due to a 12-week injury with the medial ligament damage. Fortunately, Carlos Tuimavave is back and is joined by Mitieli Vulikajabani and Charlie Sievers. So Shaw goes in at fullback in replace of Jake Connor, while Carlos Tuimavave fits in at centre. Josh Reynolds partners Luke Gale, while Kane Evans is the front man with Liggy South. Danny Houghton is still the leading tackler in Super League with, last count, 534. But Josh Griffin, Manu Ma'u and also Brad Fash complete the forward pack. Chris Sarte will come off the bench, and this season's best find for Hull has been Joe Lovidua, will join him on the bench. Then there's Jack Brown and Jordan Johnson. There are changes too for Catalans, as Sami Sonilangi is back from injury and Julian Busquets returns from a ban. These two replaced Gil Dudson and Ben Julian in the squad. So it's Sam Tompkins and Tom Davis, who are 1 and 2. Samisoni Langi and Matthew Laguerre still keeping out Dean Ware, who's been out with injury recently. Fuid Yaha has signed an extension to his Catalan contract and continues on the left wing. Tyrone May and Mitchell Pearce continue to partner in halves, while Artem Morgs is on the bench. Dylan Napper and Julian Busquets are the forward men, while Matt Whitley, who signed a new contract as well, joins Mike McMeekin in the second row, and Ben Garcia still captains the side. Mikel Gudemont, Joe Chan and Sam Cassiano all are on the bench with the aforementioned Morgs. And it's Catalans who get on the board first of all. They are deep in the Hull territory, and Mickey McAlorum goes right. And after Tyrone May finds Mitchell Pearce, his short pass finds Michael McMeekin, whose arcing run puts Catalans ahead with the scores at 6-0 after Sam Tompkins added the extras. We move into the first half, and it's Catalans who have started to get the field position, and Hull are on the back foot. After a couple of drives for the Catalan forwards, they are deep in Hull territory. Michael McAlorum starts scheming with Tyrone May, and then a short pass by Mitchell Pearce, who finds Michael McMeekin out wide to score on an arcing run, which Sam Tompkins extends the lead to 6-0. Then on the 21st minute adds a penalty to make it 21-0. Not long after that, on the 30th minute, we see Catalans in again. It is almost a try for Sam Cassiano as the big man goes close to the line, but Catalan spread it left. A great pass by Tompkins finds Matthew Laguerre, who passes over to Drinkwater, who finds the gap for Fuid Yaha to go over, and now is 3 behind the try-scoring record that Catalans have. Catalans go in once more just before half-time, 3 minutes later, from Mikel Goldemond. After an offload in the tackle by Pearce hits the legs of the supporting Catalans man. I think it's either May or Pearce. The pass is given to Gudemont, who forces his way over. It's May who offloads to Mitchell Pearce, and it bounces off, as you see. Doesn't touch his hands, his knee, and it's play on from there. The ball goes to the supporting Gudemont as Pearce is being tackled by Danny Houghton, and he scores under the sticks, which sees Catalan over once more, with Sam Tompkins scoring on the 34th minute. It's Hull that gets the next points on the board in the second half. After a kick has been forced to go again, it's Josh Jones, who keeps Samisoni Langi at arm's length and pushes himself over for the try. Catalans comes back though, as Langi this time uses his strength to get over, which Tompkins actually misses this conversion, as did Hull on the previous attempt. Hull though come back once more, as they throw the ball out wide after a 6 again call. Gale and Jamie Shaw, who's playing fullback, find Darnell McIntosh, who goes over in the 76th minute, to the delight of the huge following that Hull took over to France. But a mistake near their own try line sees Catalan go in again. Mitchell Pearce scores on the 75th minute, and a fortunate grab sees Catalans go in once more. Fuid Yaha passes the ball back inside for Tyrone May to go over for the final try of the game. which Tompkins converts as it was from underneath the sticks, which left the final score of 36 points to 8 to Catalans Dragons. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell for any updates or any new videos that may be coming your way in the next few days. Tell me what your thoughts are of today's episode. There is a lot to go through. The NRL had 3 games, and do you agree with me that they're only playing these games so far behind each other because the State of Origin was played on the Wednesday? Do you think they should have had a week off rather than bye weeks? Just to keep up and push back a week of the season, or start it a week earlier? That's what they wanted to do. They want more rugby league. Why don't they just start it a week earlier and have the State of Origin games there? Anyway. What about Catalan bouncing back after their Huddersfield defeat? It was good while it lasted, and hopefully they can crack on and be silent on the way that they go about the business, especially with Huddersfield and Wigan still picking up wins. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share this video worldwide. But in the meantime, please stay safe. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you in the next episode.